Here we go, Barflies. Welcome to the Barfly Tailgate Show. You already know it's live. It's done by Barflies, for Barflies, and all the other Bears fans out there. So, fellas, it's just kind of like, back to life, back to reality. I mean, that's kind of how we are. I think we all came in knowing that Dalton would shit down his leg, and that special teams was an issue, right? And we hoped that Fields would get more playing time, but I mean, they told us before the game that he would play the second half, or whatever. Just a fucking piss poor performance. I mean, honestly, all around. Just shit performance all around. We'll get into all that stuff. If you're in the chat, obviously let us know what you thought. We'll start this thing off. Let's start this thing off today with Mr. Aaron Current, Mr. AC in the place to be. He's getting the first intro today because I'm just curious as to what that Kentucky weather is doing. AC, what up, dude?
What's going on? It's a beautiful day here in Kentucky. The temperatures around the 70s, the 80s, and not too hot, not too cool. I might cut my grass later. I don't know, but the weather looks great. I thought yesterday's game, and I'm sure we'll get into it. I thought it was more of a what's the word I'm looking for? It looked bad on Nagy more than anybody else, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's more of a reflection of Nagy. I think so too. We'll definitely get into that stuff because I mean, Mitch.
Mitch was slinging it.
I mean, Mitch was doing it. I don't care what. I don't care what you got to say about Mitch. Like we always say, man, it's a fan on the show. It's our opinion, and you got your opinion. But I want Mitch to do good, man. Mm-hmm. I want Mitch to do good because I want it to be the telling sign that Nagy. He's just a broken system. Why go through another quarterback? When Fields finally starts, go through another one in a shit fucking system that just doesn't work. But we'll get into all that stuff. Let's go over. You know what? Let's save Badge for last today. It's maybe a little best for last deal, but let's save Badge for the end here. Let's go over to Mr. Ryan Kirkland Billings, KB, the fireman. He's out there. He just got back from a call. Motherfucker went out, put down a fucking 8-story building, soaked that shit, and came back. What's up, KB?
What's going on, man? It wasn't that serious today, man. You know what I'm saying? Somebody fell and hurt their leg. We gotta be out there and serve the public. You know how it is. But man, what's going on, fellas, man? Yeah, we saw this game yesterday. I heard my boy AC talking about it, man. Biggest thing about this is Nagy looks bad after this shit. That's all I'm gonna say. Nagy looks bad. You need to get the play calling up, man. I'm not gonna say you're a bad head coach, but you're not an offense coordinator, bro. It comes down to that. That's all that has to be said, man. I'm gonna get into it a little bit later. You know what I'm saying? I want my boy Bash to weigh in on this. I need my boy Bash to weigh in.
Yeah, I mean, you're right there. That's the same thing we've been saying for years. He's probably a good head coach. He just needs to give up that play call sheet. And last but not least, we're saving the best for last. Mr. Ryan Badgley, Badge of Honor. Badge is like, yo, what the fuck? How did I get introduced last today, Badge? What's up, dude?
Man, it's all good. I'm in a mood today, man. I'm rocking the Death Row Records shirt. Like, I'm about to fucking open up a can and hit him up on fucking Matt Nagy.
There you
just
go.
Like my boy KB was just saying, man. Like, it's a preseason game. Let's not, overlook the fact that it was, this means nothing. But at the same time, right? So there's 3 preseason games, right? Most teams have a dress rehearsal. That's usually the game before the last game of the preseason. Now, yes, in the last few years, things have been different. But if this was your dress rehearsal, oh, fuck, I'm canceling the Sunday ticket, dude. I'll just fucking, what's the point? My cable bill's $300 with this motherfucker. If that's the product that's going to be up every Sunday on the field with Andy Dalton, granted, I get it. No A-Rob, no Mooney. Half of his starting offensive line isn't there. Well, if that's the case, guys, we got major problems aside from Andy Dalton and Justin Fields, because what showed up at Soldier Field yesterday, and yes, coaches and players, I'm talking to you, that was disgusting. Lack of effort, lack of intensity, lack of even, it was like you didn't even want to be there for a majority of you. Not everybody. I mean, you'll hear it. We've got some comments from Nagy, Fields, Dalton. Danny Lance is going to join us in about 19 minutes or so. To me, I understand it's a preseason game. I get it. But if this was your dress rehearsal, guys, yikes. I have zero confidence that I don't care. Put Jason Peters, 39-year-old Jason Peters out there at offensive tackle week 1. And go ahead and throw Andy Dalton out there at quarterback. Whether A-Rob, Mooney, I mean, I don't care if we trade for fucking Devontae Adams, the number 1 receiver in the NFL. We're going to get fucking steamrolled Sunday Night Football against the Rams if what happened yesterday is the same scenario. I mean, Jason Peters is going to struggle. He's 39 years old. He's apparently competing to be the starting left tackle. Well, I'm hoping he shows better than what we saw yesterday from the other guys that were there. To me, it's just I don't know if this is a dress rehearsal. Wow, yikes! Like what happened?
Yeah, Bash, man, it couldn't be no dress rehearsal. You know what I'm saying? This is something I noticed yesterday, and I kind of took my fandom out of it. You got to look at things objectively. How do you put Andy Dalton out there and expect him to perform when he's using the exact same lineup as Justin Fields? Your best receiver out there that yesterday was Adams, Rodney Adams. That was the best receiver out. Darnell Mooney's not playing. A-Rob's not playing. Komet wasn't playing. Jimmy Graham was in for a series. Montgomery's not playing. So where the fuck is the number ones? Where's the number 1 offense? You put Dalton out there and you say, hey, this is what you got. But on the other side of the field, you got Hicks playing. You got Khalil Mack playing. Robert Quinn playing. Eddie Jackson. So why the hell is it good for the defense to have their starters out there, but the offense not to have theirs? When we already know what the defense can do. Yeah. We have not seen what this offense can provide.
Do we, though? I mean, these guys ain't done shit since 18. All they've done is talk. They fucking talk. That's it. Now this year, we're not talking. We're going to let our players
you'll get a better product out of the defense than you do the offense. That's how it's always been.
Shut your mouths and play football.
It's always been that way.
You're getting paid millions of dollars, whether it's a preseason game, training camp, fan fest. Show the fuck up for the fans that are there and play.
Hey, Bash, I'm with you on that. Because Eddie Jackson's poor tackling angles was trash yesterday.
Yeah, all the tackling came to hit him up today, brother.
Yeah. It's the same shit for 3 years, guys. I'm tired of it. Nagy can't hack it. It's clear. He can't make a decision. He's afraid to start Justin Fields because he made a promise to Andy Dalton. Why? Because they had no clue who they were going to have at quarterback. No clue. These morons up there.
I mean, honestly, all of it was trash. Special teams was fucking horrible. The defense.
Were they even on the field?
The defense had more starters on. I know. The defense had more starters on the field. They gave up fucking 21. I mean, in the first 3 possessions. Well, not 21 because the 2, but whatever.
It's a preseason game.
Yeah, and I mean, and then the offense is just been the offense. I mean, it was pretty bad yesterday. And I think I get it. It's preseason. I know everybody, whatever. It's only preseason, but I don't know, man. It's rough, and it's rough to see it. I mean, against the Dolphins, you come out and Fields basically controlled the game. I think Dalton's had 9 possessions now, 1 first down, 1 touchdown. I think that's what it is. If it's wrong, somebody can fix it.
You got to look at that damn touchdown as being a miraculous play.
That was a fucking Madden play, dude.
If my man
that's all Rodney Adams.
That's a fucking John Madden play action streak. Fucking fake the handoff, launch it as fucking hard as you can to the fastest guy that you have on your team that you put in that position. I mean, we used to all run that play in fucking 2006 in Madden. Like, it was unstoppable.
I still run that
you know what I mean?
My dad is petitioning for Giants fans right now.
Giants fans, come over here. But I mean, and Desai just looked unprepared. And he had the most starters out there. Yeah.
Everybody's unprepared. I mean, how was a fan? And granted, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm an expert. I'm a fan. I love this team and have. But I don't care if it's preseason. You have to come prepared. And clearly, from the jump, they were not prepared. And you look at how the defense came out yesterday, and then take a look at last season, the season before, even a little bit with Vic. If you had a team that had a quick passing game, what did it do to this defense? It carved it up.
Yeah.
It's too easy for so if you're going to sit 10 yards off the ball and allow them to run slants in front of you, teams are going to do it all day. They don't even need to run the ball.
Yeah.
They don't.
It was the same as before, though. The whole bend, don't break thing, but they just moved down the field. And honestly, I think that makes them look a little better. Makes the offense look a little better. You know what I mean? And they tried to do the, just make them make a decision. Well, people are wide open, and they're just getting, crossing routes, under routes, curls, this, that, and just moving the ball down the field, man. And I mean, it was depressing, it was definitely like, holy shit, what the fuck? And then Dalton, dude, I'm like, so I know we got the clips and all that, and we're going to play them, but Dalton's fucking just whole demeanor on the field is, he looks like Mitch last year after like we're down 28-6 or something. He looks like like how Mitch looks. And I got I don't even know why. I mean, I get it that Adams fell down on that deep end route, the deep end, and the pick was thrown, and okay, that one's not on Dalton, but to fucking laugh and all that about it afterwards, I was fucking mad. I was like, how is this dude just laughing and smiling and shit after he throws a pick? Like, where is like the desire? I don't care if it's a preseason game. Where is the desire to just be better? And how are you? Yeah, go ahead.
You know who wasn't smiling? Justin Fields.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. Just want to throw it out there. Go ahead, Bobby.
Yeah, I mean, that's just, Dalton was the offense is just horrible. With all the issues that we have on the offensive line right now, right? I think you need Justin Fields to be able to move the pocket. You see how many times he's got to scramble. He doesn't have to scramble because he wants to take off in the whole, Michael Vick-esque, when he started his first year, he was always running, right? Fields has to scramble because the line sucks and because the fucking backup wide receivers can't get open. They can't get a step on the defense. That's the only reason he has to scramble. And it's better than making a poor decision and forcing the fucking ball into coverage. He's like, screw it. I could beat all these guys in a foot race. Let me just get 6 and then take a knee. Let me get, 8 and step out of bounds. Let me do this, do that. And I think he had 45 yards rushing yesterday.
Yep.
And it's not because design. It's not Matt Nagy's design. We're not talking about the Ravens and the design run plays, right? We're talking about a broken fucking pocket where he's got to just take off.
Yeah.
It's
frustrating, man. I told you guys I went to Hooters yesterday to watch part of the game, the first half. I had the DVR set up to record the game while I was gone.
I'm sure you were just watching the game at Hooters.
I was. Actually, our waitress was not qualified to work at Hooters, so there's that. But but I watched the first half, and I'm just sitting there. We're all decked out in Bears. I had my son in his Fields jersey. I had my Fields of Dreams shirt on. We was all decked out for Bears gear, and I'm sitting there watching the ball game, just getting more and more frustrated and embarrassed that I'm wearing Bears gear, and we're just getting shellacked by the quarterback that we just let walk out the door. So then, like, the second half, we left. We did some other things. We went to the mall and stuff. We had some things to do. And then I came back home.
You went to the mall and bought a new shirt.
Yeah.
Put it on over.
I was like, I ain't wearing this shit. But then I got home. I tried to watch it on the DVR because I didn't get to see anything from Justin Fields because I left at halftime, and it recorded the Bengals and Washington football team. So all I can tell you is I saw a couple of highlights and clips from Justin Fields, and from what I could see, it's clear to me who should be starting. I mean, there's no question. The guy puts the ball where it needs to be. His demeanor is that of a leader. He can run. He can take off. He can take a hit. I mean, like I said, it sucks that Nagy, he looks like he can't freaking coach. And we had someone here on the ballroom, Phil, call that out years ago. But it's just looking worse and worse.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to? Yeah, there we go. Me and Badger typing the same thing to each other in the little private chat. Yeah, let's go to that. Since AC brought it up, let's go to where the video we got, the little clip we got about Fields taught when he was asked about starting.
Is that 1 or 2? Sorry.
Shit, I think it's 2.
2, okay.
What the original plan was for you when you were drafted, and that seems like he's willing to evolve as necessary. How determined are you to try to change their mindset, accelerate your timeline, try to change things a little bit here in the next few weeks?
I'm not worried about any of that, to be honest with you. I'm just worried about getting better every day, and everything will take care of itself.
Are you progressing as quickly as you thought you would be? I mean, are you surprised yourself at all?
I feel like I'm in a good place right now mentally. I feel good about my progression every day, and how I'm practicing and getting in the film room and learning the playbook. So now it's just getting reps and reps and reps, and just keep getting those reps, keep building that repertoire of plays, and plays like that, plays like on the field today where I got kind of hit out there. You just learn from those plays and go back to the film room and get better.
The ability that you have to be calm and have clarity looking at the field when things are not going right, when either guys are covered or the blocking is breaking down, when and how did you learn that or develop that?
Just over the years, I guess, from high school, from middle school, just running around, just trying to make plays. So it's not a I guess a one-time thing. I've been doing this for a long time. I've been kind of one of the fastest guys on the field. So I think I've had a lot of experience doing that. So when I do escape the pocket, I'm able to keep my eyes on field and.
I'm sorry.
Plays. No, you're good.
Is the speed the root of that? That you just always have it in your mind that no matter what happens, you could use the speed to get out of whatever danger is coming?
Of course, I'm trying to throw the ball downfield first, but if the pocket breaks down or I see a gap in the line, then I'm gonna try to make a possible sack into a positive play every time.
Justin Flip told us the other day that you weren't happy with the practice the other day. You asked him to come back out, go through the whole practice script again. What made you want to do that? What did you get out of doing that?
Those particular practices only get 2 reps of our offensive plays, and then I just work with the scout team, so they kind of give us carded plays for us to run against the defense. So I just wanted to go through the offensive script just to make sure I get those reps and mentally, just to make sure I was on top of everything.
So it was more like just getting the mental reps.
Yeah, it was more getting the mental reps just because I wasn't able to run the actual plays in practice.
The last 2 weeks, how have you?
So a couple things there, right? I mean, we'll start with the first one, and I should probably have because that was a little longer of a video. Could have probably chopped that up a little bit, but the first one with, how did you feel about not starting or where you're at in your thing? Like, what is a rookie gonna say, dude? When has a rookie ever been like, you know what, fuck this? That guy in front of me, he sucks. Like, did you see what he did on the field? Like, yeah, me neither. I should be in there every day. Like, that's never going to happen. Although that's the answer that he should probably give. Like, well, I don't know. Look at how many times he's had the ball and drove down the field. And look how many times I've drove down the field. Look at the, when plays break down, what happened. But none of that it really happened. So to ask him that is obviously kind of, I think it's a shit question. You could have thought of something else instead of, do you feel like you should be starting? But, everything else in there, man, is just when we show some of the videos of Dalton here in a little while. I think we got 2 of those, or at least 1 of those. There's definitely a different demeanor in the 2 individuals, right? And then asking him about the pocket breaking down is something we were kind of just going over with. Yeah, we know this kid's going to get out of the pocket and he's going to make some moves. He's going to be able to move the ball downfield, and I think that's your biggest weapon. Your biggest backup weapon. That's your fucking piece tied to your ankle, like ready to fucking go in case the war breaks out and shit. Like, I don't know, man. I just feel like he brings so much more to the table. And how Nagy could come out in his presser immediately after the game and say Andy Dalton is our starter without evaluating anything. He didn't
We
even
got to
evaluate.
see him in the regular season. Isn't that what he said? Something like
Yeah.
that.
Like, how
Go
do
to the
you
Monsters of the Tri-State Facebook page and look at the thing that Scar posted this morning about Nagy's comment. That exact comment. My comment underneath it. No, the fuck we don't. We don't need
Yeah.
to see any more of Andy Dalton. Nothing against Andy Dalton. I get it, but this guy is a once in a lifetime player. And this organization, in its soon to be 102 years, has never had a quarterback pass for 30 plus touchdowns or 4,000 yards.
Yeah.
And you're going to trot this fucking guy, Andy Dalton, out there week 1 against a Rams defense that has Aaron Donald. And there's a guy, he wears number 54 now. Leonard Floyd. That's
Uncle
right.
Lenny. Uncle Lenny.
Now that he isn't in Chicago, had double-digit sacks last year. So what?
Don't forget about just the
Khalil
best
Mack
corner in the
other
league
side
out there too.
Well, they have Jalen Ramsey as well. Unfortunately, we're only going to see a lot of Jalen Ramsey because he's going to be intercepting and knocking down passes like it's his job week 1. Because it is his job, because we're going to trot Andy Dalton out there.
Yeah, well,
and this is the thing. How do you sit there and say you have to wait until the week 1 when this was the dress rehearsal game?
Yeah,
I don't get it.
Well, they did say, and I know Badge kind of mentioned it earlier though too, but they did say that some of these guys are playing next week. That it's not really that they were going to go into these last 2 games with switching up putting in 2s with 1s and 3s with 1s and doing all that in order to evaluate better instead of giving a full break of a game. But whatever. They also said Tevin Jenkins was not hurt.
Then is it Justin Fields time? Because from off the evaluations, because they played with the same people, you got more of an offensive push out of Fields, and there's no denying what you saw.
Yeah,
Dalton was out there. He got lucky on a damn pass, like you said. It was a fucking Madden play. Adams made.
I just want to address the comment that Justin made at the end of that. When you're done, KB, I apologize.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's you see it. Your best chance to win is Justin Fields. And it's not just because he's the rookie. It's because he's fucking mobile. Dalton is going to get killed. Fucking killed. He's a backup at this point. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's the
Aaron Donald's salivating.
Yeah. Actually, I have 2 points. Well, what's the point of signing a veteran quarterback multiple years in a row now that can't get out of the pocket when you're going to try to run a bunch of play action plays? Literally, you look at Nick Foles a year ago, he could not get away from anyone. Look how great your offense was. So then this year, we need a veteran quarterback. So you go out and you sign Andy Dalton and promise him that he's going to be the week 1 starter. This guy yesterday is rolling out with all sorts of pressure right in his face. He's more mobile than Foles, but barely. He's not Justin Fields, guys. There's no way that I see this unless a miracle happens by week 1 and all of a sudden Jason Peters has found the fountain of youth and becomes the left tackle he was 10 years ago. I don't see it happening.
And you look at Buffalo, right? Look at Buffalo and their quarterbacks and how they all have that continuity and the similar traits of being able to execute the offense. And then look at our quarterbacks. They're not alike. They're like different ends of the spectrum. So when one goes down, you're changing your whole fucking playbook. In Buffalo, if one goes down, the next dude's, maybe a little, he's a lesser, right? Brings a little less to the table, but he still brings those same traits to the table. For us,
sorry, I forgot my last comment there.
Go ahead.
The thing I wanted to focus on the most there, and then of course I sidetracked myself, was the comment that here they are now, Justin Fields, Matt Nagy said during the week, Andy Dalton's probably going to play a quarter and a half. So that means Justin Fields is going to take over. So now let's say What happened yesterday didn't. Andy got some good reps in. Maybe they don't score some points. Why wouldn't you give Justin some of those practice reps with that first team?
Yeah.
Just to let him have some for the game plan that he's going to be practicing in.
Well, that's why I put that. That's why I had that piece
Yeah.
of the video in there, because why does it take your rookie quarterback to ask you to go back out onto the field and run some more of the first team plays? Who the fuck are you? Like, maybe that's why we're not developing anybody. Why does your fucking rookie have to say, hey, coach? And they said Flip said how you wanted to go back out on the field and run plays because you didn't run enough of the first team plays. Well, that's the fucking coach's fault. Like, how is this dude running the scout fucking offense? What is Nick Foles doing at practice besides sitting there with his arms crossed? Let that bitch run the fucking scout team, and Fields and Dalton should run the same amount of fucking plays with the ones. And if you don't have enough time, make more fucking time. Practice is longer. Take out one of your little fucking motivational speeches and leadership books and go fuck yourself and run the goddamn plays on the field with these guys. Like, I don't see how.
The mental reps, Bobby. He's getting the mental reps. Oh, the mental reps. It's all mental. I'm telling you, who's mental. You are mental, Matt Nagy.
Be obsessed. Be obsessed, Matt. Be obsessed with teaching your fucking rookie how to be a quarterback. Fucking dickhead. Dude, this shit, like, I don't know. It's just.
Sorry, we're off the rails this morning.
Yeah. I just don't see how. Like, yeah. I see how when shit like that comes out, it's obvious that quarterbacks, that nobody gets fucking developed here. It's obvious that there is no development of a rookie in Chicago. Mooney goes out and buys his own jugs machine. Like, fuck, give the kid a fucking jugs machine. How much money do you have?
Right?
Like,
Jesus Christ.
Like, who?
How are you franchise in the NFL?
Yeah, you draft a wide receiver and they're like, hey, congrats, kid. You know, we'll cut you your contract. And the kid says, oh, great. The only thing I want to do is go buy a jugs machine. Play fucking Santa and give that bitch a jugs machine. Like, what are you doing? That's why I don't see how the whole development thing is this bad, man. And then, you know, maybe a lot of people didn't catch it, but then Fields says that shit and you're like, what the fuck? Like, your rookie, your franchise, the fucking new Prince has to ask to go run first team reps. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Are we still family show, Poms? My bad, man. It's Sunday morning, you know.
It's the bar room, not the Sunday school.
All right, guys. Before we bring in our special guest,
I'm going on timeout.
I'm going to play before we introduce him. So you're definitely going to want to go and check out their site after I play this little video. And then we'll get to the guest. Little Christmas rope on. There's that wheel. Look at that one. Ladies and gentlemen,
my bad, dude.
Welcome to the show. None other than our man Danny Lance from Audacia Sports. Danny,
what's up, fellas?
Man? Welcome back to the Barfly Tailgate Show. How you doing, man?
Doing good. Thanks for having me. Thanks for that video. The video was hype, Bobby. The beats, I was going.
You know, had to drop some audio in there, dude.
Beats by Bobby.
Hey, when the pocket collapses, I run outside and I gain fucking 40, baby. That's how we do it.
Hey, that's some field shit right there. I like that. You guys are funny, man. I was listening before. You guys are cracking me up. Yeah, you guys are funny, man.
Yeah, dude, we appreciate you joining as always, you know, and it's just, I mean, these last couple games, man. I mean, the first game, you know, with Fields was, I mean, what we all wanted to see, right? It's what we thought, and I think the minimization of having Dalton on the field, we were okay with it, right? And now we didn't even have a full game. We had 2 quarters of this dude on the field, right? And people were going nuts, man. Like,
yeah, they were booing. I was there. The boos came out hard. It was bad.
Yeah, and the what was the chant? The chant was
want Justin, 3 claps. So yeah, no, they wanted him bad. Bring out Justin. All that. It made sense, but it definitely kind of. I think that energy kind of messes with the Bears' head. It kind of it kills the vibe a little bit, because I guess Andy Dalton does have to go out there and when he's being booed by the home crowd, it's got to be hard, especially when he kind of already sucks. But yeah, I mean, I was tempted to join in because you do kind of want to see Justin Fields after seeing Andy Dalton do absolutely nothing every drive in a row. He got lucky on that Rodney Adams pass. That was sick. Got the crowd jumping, but it was a lot of oh, I've seen this before. I went to a couple games in the Mitch Trubisky era, and I was seeing that before. It was good to see Mitch suck on some deep balls. Of course, it looked like they just ran stick and slants on Madden all day and just chopped us with it. I don't know what we were doing, but yeah, no, Dalton's kind of killing us.
I mean, that's a smart game plan with Mitch, though. That's what we're saying for years with Mitch as quarterback. Stop trying to throw the deep ball and bust the top open. The kid is accurate from 5 to 15.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. He is. He's an accurate quarterback from 5 to 15. Why are we throwing 25-yard pass? You know what I mean, and stuff like that. And they actually played to his strengths, which is something that we don't really do well, and I get it.
Nagy's just this is my system. You're going to run it.
Yeah, very
and
hard.
Other coaches, successful coaches are let's run this system around what we have, which, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I get it on the booing, right? And I mean, look at Mitch. Mitch didn't even take the field in Chicago yet. Was at the Bulls game 3 days after he was drafted and got booed.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Tough. So it is. It's a bunch of assholes, and yeah, I mean, we've all lived there. It's just the way it goes. And if they don't want you there, you have to prove that you're needed. If you can't prove that you're needed there, then they still won't want you. You can't be average and think that the city is going to get behind you, because the city they don't accept average. And the way that they display it sometimes is, ignorant and pretty shitty. And you could see that, that's, it's going to affect the player, but, it just has to be proven. And right now, everybody knows that Fields is better than Dalton.
Definitely.
So the only thing they want is the best on the field. You quit the read between the lines shit and this and that and whatever. Just put the best player on the field. Badge, about that booing stuff, can you throw in that Dalton video real quick, and where they talk about that he was actually asked how he felt about the boos. So since
personal standpoint, and you lead the team onto the field and you hear a lot of boos, then Justin comes in, leads the team on the field, everybody goes crazy. Does that ever bother you? Does it get frustrating at some point?
It's part of it. They want to, they want to see a good product out there. I didn't hear any boos after the touchdown pass through. Hopefully they'll be cheering a lot.
You leave here today.
So that part right there, I think Dalton fucked himself at the beginning of this, right? The question was, and I know it's kind of sketchy, but the question was, how do you feel about getting the boos when you come out on the field? But then when Justin comes out, everybody goes wild and cheering. And Dalton's first response was, well, it's part of the product out there. Yeah, you're the product, motherfucker. It's you, So, I mean, I get it. I just think it's going to be rough no matter what for the dude. And there's no way that I think he should start week 1, man. On the second side of it, though, Danny, what else did you see at the game? Any young studs that you were like, wow, who is this kid? Or anything along those lines where you because there was a lot of 2s and 3s playing yesterday, man. Anything along the lines of maybe this guy's got a little more in the tank than you thought?
So I think that was a given. I went to practice on Wednesday, so that was really cool. I got to, of course, Justin didn't practice on Wednesday, had a groin, but got to get a little in. Adams was really impressive on Wednesday. So it was cool to watch him, have a couple aggressive catches in practice and transfer that right to the game for a huge touchdown. That was clutch. But he had a tackle for loss in the first game, and then was getting through some blocks real nasty yesterday. Had a couple tackles, and he is a big dude. I saw that he's got live and just holy crap, these dudes are big. Jesse James too. I mean, he's a big dude, real tall, real fit. Same with Marquise Goodwin. He's small, but he's a sprinter. He's really jacked. I actually do have some sleepers on this squad. I think it's just putting it all together. He looks amazing. You're like, this guy can throw. He is Ethan Rodgers in the flesh or something, but it just doesn't transfer when it's behind that line. When they're running there.
Yo, Danny, I don't know what happened, dude, but you started breaking up really bad. Badge, you're muted. Danny, you started breaking up really bad there, and I think we lost you.
Yeah, I think we just did, bro. Because they also crack one really bad.
Yeah, it was. It started popping. It started
I
popping
thought
like
it,
started
I
popping
thought it
like
was
Dalton's.
me because my
I
shit's
thought it was
already.
Dalton. I thought it was Dalton's knees.
My
You
internet
know?
connection already kicked me, so I thought it was just me. I was like, "Damn, this sounds like shit."
AC ruining the day. We'll try to get Danny back in here. Badge, if you just want to text him on the side and tell him or if he's maybe still in the private. I don't know. It might be.
He's still in the chat. Let me see here. I'm gonna add him back.
There we go.
Go ahead, Danny. Let's give it a shot.
Yeah, let's see what we got. Yeah, no, it's still cracking a little bit.
Oh,
yeah. So it's like breaking up really bad, and then it's like the audio is cracking a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's your headphones or not.
I'll
work with you on the side, Danny. I'll have the guys get going here and going, and I'll work with you.
Yeah, I mean, he brought up some good points. So, like, there's some of these dudes out there, right, that are doing it. Yeah, here we go. This is the three amigos, and Badge left us too, so now we're stuck in this style. Oh no, there we go.
Oh shit!
But I mean, otherwise, man, there's just a lot. I get it. There's a lot of talent that still needs to be evaluated, right? And a lot of guys who need to see the field, because honestly, if you're a third string guy or a fourth string guy, or you're a guy trying to make the field or trying to, make the team, you have to get on the field. So I get having some of this and being able to evaluate some of them, right? But I think it still comes down to, you can't tell me that you're evaluating these guys and they're the best ones on the team when you're telling me Andy Dalton is your starter. Like, because you evaluated him and he's the best one you have. Like, that's just a line of bullshit, man. So I don't know why we always get stuck in this era of, we're going to start this guy because we told him, instead of starting the best player on the field.
Right.
We talked about this last week when Russell Wilson was a rookie. You know what I mean? Matt Flynn had a $14 million contract.
And I'm sure they told Matt Flynn, yeah, you're our starter.
Yeah, and Wilson came out and they're
was like, the fuck you are.
But the difference there was coach. You have Pete Carroll, who already was establishing, he knew exactly what the fuck he wanted. I see better players. I'm going to start better players. That's how you get a Richard Sherman. That's how you get a Bobby Wagner. That's how you get Russell Wilson, Chris Carson. He's a real fucking coach.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, Nagy's not. There's this coddling shit that has been going on since I've been a kid.
I think and when it comes down to it, it's higher than Nagy. It's the whole front office. It's the owners. When you bring guys in and you say, hell yeah, you're our starter, like there's no questions asked. That's going to be your starter. And it doesn't matter what people do on the field. It's this is who our starter is going to be. Base it whether it's on their salary or their draft position. I mean, how many chances did we see, Adam Shaheen get to show because he was a second round pick? We're going to continue to trot him out there because he's our second round pick, even though everyone else saw better guys on the roster, or go out and get someone who's better. But We just see it over and over, and I think
Right.
I think it goes higher than Nagy, but I do not think Nagy's system works. That's
Yeah.
and
And
we talked
it's
about it last
confusing.
year, and
Mhm.
everyone always blames someone else is the scapegoat. You know, it's the
Oh, and
it's the
last year was
OC's
Trubisky.
fault. It's Mitch's
It was
fault.
Trubisky's fault.
It's the O-line coach's fault. Well, it seems like it's your head coach's fault.
I
And
just
if
think back to Greg Bragg's guys. It's not all on Mitch.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it clearly it wasn't.
Yeah.
And if
No.
anybody thinks differently, I don't give a shit anymore. It doesn't
Right.
matter.
I don't
Mitch is
want to hear this.
gone.
Mitch is
Who
trash shit.
cares?
Blah blah blah. He's not our quarterback. Just
Yeah.
like the whole narrative beforehand. Are people gonna
Yeah.
boo Mitch? It doesn't fucking matter if they're gonna boo Mitch. Doesn't matter if they're gonna cheer Mitch. Mitch isn't our quarterback anymore.
Yeah.
And
Clearly
clearly
that was
whatever
a
the fuck
concern
happened didn't
amongst the
fucking bother
players.
him.
You
know
know,
what I'm saying?
that they were concerned Mitch was going to get booed because you had multiple players concerned from the Bears that Mitch was going to get booed. Hey guys, I get it, you're buddies, but you're going against each other on the football field in a relentless game. Yeah, I'm not saying you go out there and hurt somebody because that's not how you play the game, but that's your opponent. You're going out there to beat them into submission, and clearly that approach wasn't taken yesterday. And I want to get back to Danny. How was it on the sidelines? Like, did the players, because on the field nobody looked interested in being there at all. How did it look on the sidelines? I mean, were guys frustrated, upset? Like, were you able to see anything what was going on the sideline?
Yeah, so I sat on the north side, kind of behind the goalpost. So I didn't have the greatest view of the sideline, but I was trying to look for Fields on the sideline. And often I noticed that everyone kind of like, you can kind of tell by body language, and everyone was kind of lined up together side by side, not really necessarily talking. And there's always like that first wall of guys like that. But you could tell probably, the score got messed up quick. It was 21-0 pretty fast. It kind of seemed like all the energy and the effort and all that kind of died really quickly. So from when you could see the guys on the sideline, because I was peeking over like, oh, is this Fields drive yet? Oh, does Fields have his helmet on yet? And everyone kind of like seems kind of slouched, kind of like, chill. But when you got to see it on like the TVs and stuff and the big screens, and they would show people, they'd show like Nagy and Desai all real intense on the sidelines and stuff. But I don't know, it wasn't working. We were just getting smashed. Nothing we were doing was working at all. Everything they were doing was working. So I don't know. It was definitely a yesterday thing. Like it wasn't Mitch, it wasn't necessarily just because of the O-line last year. Like you guys have just been saying, like it's just a preseason game, but like dog, that was on coaching totally 100%.
Yeah, I agree. And I see Clovers, that it was on Trubisky also, but I think it's like, you're asking a carpenter to do his job with a fucking sledgehammer and a fucking, you know what I mean, and a pickaxe.
Yeah.
And and like those are the tools that you're given to complete a job. So who knows? I mean, granted, yeah, Mitch was pretty bad at certain points, right?
Yeah, he missed some throws yesterday and all of his career as a Bear.
Yeah, but if you give this dude the right tools and the right, game plan, he obviously shows that he can perform. Granted, it is a preseason game. We all thought this, year 2 of Mitch against the Broncos, when he came out and fucking lit him up. We were like, oh, here we go, right? But if you watch those play calls in that game, and they never stuck with that. That was the preseason playbook of this is what we're going to do. And then we come out onto the field and we have a totally different game plan, and the pocket's not rolling. Like nothing was happening the same from that game as it did throughout the year. So I think, like, in a sense, is Mitch a viable quarterback? I mean, he can carry your team if your starter goes down. I believe that. I don't think he should be a number 1. I'm not like fucking praising this kid, whatever, right? But I think that's the problem with Nagy. Nagy gives the carpenter a fucking pickaxe, right, and a damn sledgehammer, and tells him to go build some stairs. And like, they're not going to look good, man. This shit's not going to fucking look good. Like, no matter what, that's just not how it's going to happen. And
Yeah.
I just think his game
And then
plan.
Nagy's like, "Well, I drew out the blueprint of these stairs. Why couldn't you put it together?"
Yeah, it was supposed to look like this. It was supposed to look like this. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
the fuck are you talking about, man? And then I think the coaching all around. I know a lot of people are saying it in the chat too. It was fucking horrible. Sean Desai. I mean, they played better. They played better against the Dolphins without the ones than they played against the Bills. And I mean, Desai just kind of got lit up. Special teams was shit, obviously.
Yeah.
That was bad. Very bad.
They were shit. They were shit against Miami though too. They've been bad, kind of all around. Pat O'Donnell's getting the most fucking. O'Donnell's getting the most fucking playing time.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Going to sign a long-term deal somewhere in the offseason next year, I think.
Yeah, I mean, this shit is. I don't know, man. Work. Danny, we're 2 weeks into the preseason. We got one preseason game left, right?
Right.
I mean, depending on how this game goes, by the end of next week, we should all have close to solidified expectations of this team. Right now, where we sit today, what are your expectations for this team? I know it's tough.
Unfortunately, like my brain says not very high, but my heart is like, we can do this thing, you know? So like, I guess my expectations is like, we should win like 6 games, you know, at least. But I know we could do better. Definitely having Dalton isn't going to do it, you know, even though it's just preseason, he can't move where Justin can move like every single time. And he's really fast. He can get out. And last season we said, you know, if we can have a quarterback that can move out and throw, we can do it. And now we have a quarterback that can move out and throw. So I really think that our offense can move. I think our defense needs to not play like they did yesterday and play more like they can, you know, because we have a really good defense. So if we can hold teams and, you know, score maybe 24 points a game, I think we can do it. But my expectations are not going to be too high because, unfortunately, like, Matt Nagy is our coach, and I have a feeling he is going to hold Dalton in the game until like he gets the brakes beaten off him, kind of like, you know, or he's just gonna take him out early like he did Mitch in Atlanta. But I'm not sure. I definitely think that Nagy is going to start Dalton week 1. He's going to hold to that. But I don't know. Nagy's also kind of a little bit egotistical. He might feel the media pressure and put in Justin a little early to save his job. And who knows where that's going to take us. I'm fine with maybe not doing so great this season to make sure Justin Fields is going to be our quarterback for a long time. Let's not Robert Griffin him. That's really what I care about the most.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. And I mean, I think if we go 7-10, 6-11, he's done, man. How do you say you start off and you lose like your first, you know, whatever, or you lose every game that Dalton starts? Let's just say that. And then you put Fields in and you go 500, or you're above 500 in the games that Fields starts. How do you as an organization say, well, Matt, you made a good choice at the beginning of the year. You know, and Justin just wasn't ready yet. So you decided to go with Andy. And although we lost fucking 5 games, it was smart. Like that's not going to happen. And I just think
right here, Bobby, how many wins gets Nagy fired?
6 or less. That's what
6 or less. Yeah.
6 or less gets him fired.
I think so. I think it's going to take. I think it's going to take if we go 3-14, then I think he gets fired. If he gets 6 wins, I don't think he's going anywhere.
I think the whole thing for me is it's the stubbornness of Nagy, right? We all know it wasn't Nagy. I mean, we don't know for certain, right? But we're all in the belief that Nagy didn't single-handedly. It wasn't his choice to give up the play calling last year. I don't believe that it was his choice. I believe it was a recommendation. Like, hey, why don't you let Bill do some things and you get it, get your play, give yourself some time or whatever, right? And then Laser came out and was calling the plays, and we looked more efficient. The offense looked more efficient.
Drop that bird. He needs to do it again then, and not give him the nudge, wink, wink. They need to say you need to give up play calling.
And I think that's what a lot of it comes down to is like, if Nagy is the play caller, if he holds the duties, 6 or less gets him fired. I think if he does not hold the duties, he can actually ride out probably another year and talk this organization into fucking keeping him around. And just saying that he needs a new offensive coordinator or whatever. I don't know, man. It's just it's dismal. The offense is fucking weak. The last
it always has been. It's been shit. It was exception 18. I mean, in 18, it was all right.
In 18, it was helped out by having the most
defense,
the most turnovers in the league on defense, and getting the ball in good positions. And
it's been 5 years, and we don't know what the hell this man's offensive scheme is. Like, what are we even talking about?
So we texted about it yesterday. Every quarterback that comes in for the Bears under Nagy looks confused. Every single one of them. They look like they're not sure what's going on.
Minus Fields, though. I think Fields doesn't look confused, but every other
he's like, if this shit breaks down, I'm gonna take off and get a first.
I'm gonna run.
Yeah, I was just gonna do his thing.
It's getting ridiculous, bro. It's sad that for the 6 or whatever games that Bill Lazor fucking called plays, we knew what his offensive scheme was.
He was stacking plays.
Play action.
Have several different plays out of the same formation. Throw defenses off.
You didn't bring me in to run the ball. Oh, okay, we're not gonna do I formation. Well, Bill Lazor said we're gonna do I formation. We're gonna run the goddamn ball. And guess what? We had an offense that looked productive for 6 fucking games.
Yeah. You know what kind of, I know we're on the Nagy and Fields talk, but why didn't Montgomery play yesterday? I know they're saying he's not injured, he's not whatever, right?
Why didn't Allen Robinson play? Why didn't Darnell Mooney play?
We seen Montgomery give a little limp off the sidelines yesterday, right? But if you're gonna say that Dalton is going to start the first quarter and well into the second, even though he played the half, but they said he was going to start the first quarter well into the second because you want to evaluate or you want to see him, operate. Why is Montgomery not in there? Why are these other guys not in there? Because the big thing last week was we want to see Fields with the ones. Even if Fields started this game, we wouldn't have seen him with the ones. So I don't know. It's concerning, man.
I feel like some of that is the competition behind those starting positions is a little tighter, so that maybe they wanted to evaluate that. Like wide receiver, we know number 1 is Robinson. We know number 2 is Mooney, but behind that, it's kind of they're all jockeying for position. So maybe that's why we didn't see those guys. And then,
I don't think they are jockeying for a position behind him, and I'm going to tell you why. Because I believe that your 1 and 2 and your 3 and 4 are Marquise Goodwin and Damiere Byrd. And then behind them, I think, is where the openings are for the last 2 spots. And I'm going to tell you right now, Rodney Adams is
it's got to be Rodney Adams.
It has to be.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Honestly, to me, and we all know this because we've all said it, Javon Wims is gone. He did not see a snap yesterday, but it sounds like there's something up with his appendix. That honestly could be the best thing for him because now he'll get cut sooner and have the opportunity to go join another team somewhere. I hope he goes to the Saints. Him and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson can beat the shit out of each other every practice. That'll be fucking awesome.
Hey, I mean, at the very least, if Wims is hurt, he'll get one of those. What is it? Where they pay him an injury settlement or whatever, whenever they cut him. So that might be part of that.
The 6th spot, I think Ridley is gone. Also,
they just drafted Daz Newsome, so why wouldn't they give him the?
And I think that's who's going to be the 6th receiver is Daz. In all honesty, yeah. Well, I want to bring Danny back up here. So I want to get your final thoughts on yesterday, Danny. And then I want you to go ahead and promote, obviously, Audacia Sports. anything else you got going on? Point everybody to your Twitter, all that good stuff, man.
Yeah, true. Well, to answer your first question, my final take of yesterday is, well, I guess the easy one is that Justin Fields is incredible. He changed the entire vibe of the whole day, starting from the tailgate. Everyone is wearing Justin Fields jerseys. You can walk up to any Bears fan and start a conversation with them simply off Justin Fields. Make new friends. Hit everyone up. It's such a good vibe in the stadium. Even when he comes in, everyone's cheering. It's like that part is so awesome that we have a guy like that. So my kind of takeaway is that we need to build around that guy and make sure that guy's good. So I'm okay with even like week 1, I'm okay with Justin maybe not going in, but he definitely needs to go in this season. And then with Nagy, his job, I think though the wins, it could be 6 wins, but it could be. I think it matters how well Justin Fields plays. Like if we win 6 games, but Justin Fields plays 4 of them and looks incredible, Nagy's good. So I think that we need to get him in the game. We need to make sure our O-line is good and start getting him reps with the ones. That was kind of something that I think we need to see because even Dalton couldn't throw very well yesterday. Fields had better throws, even in general, against guys that were, the 2s and 3s with his own 2s and 3s. So that guy is just so good. I just want to see and I haven't seen a franchise quarterback really for the Bears yet. The closest thing we had was Jay Cutler. So I just can't, the energy is so there. So I really hope we can just build around this kid and let this guy, be amazing. And we sign him for a $250 million contract like all the other quarterbacks are getting. I would love to have that. He makes the vibe so good again. Because the last time I was at a game was the Saints in 2019. And they didn't have Breeze, they didn't have Kamara, and we still got smashed. And it was halftime, and the Bears were booing our own squad. I paid so much money to go to the game. So with Justin Fields there, it's so much more. It's so fun again, and I want to see it happen. And I don't want Nagy to get in his head and run these cute tight end screens or nothing. Just play football, let the kid do his thing. He can scramble out and find a guy improv sometimes. So simple it down. Let's just play football, and I think we can do it. But like I said before, my expectations aren't too high. But in my heart, optimistic Bears fan, I know we can do it. And the kid's electric. The kid is electric. And then to answer your second, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say to answer your second question. I was just gonna start doing the whole shout out thing. So if you guys want to interject anything in between now and then, go ahead. Otherwise, I'll start let the shout out tour begin.
No, I was just gonna say, you haven't seen a franchise quarterback, dude. I'm probably 20 years older than you, and I haven't seen one either. So don't feel bad about it. It's just the thing. But go ahead, hit your shout outs, Dan.
Yeah. So, as our partner with the Bar Room, you guys should check out Audacia Sports. Shout out to you guys for always supporting us, always shouting us out. We make stickers, a little exclusive. We're going to be coming out with some clothing soon. So check that out, and we donate the proceeds to charities around Chicago. We just partnered with Charles Tillman's charity, was able to donate a great amount there. Thank all the Bears fans, thank all the Bar Room supporters, you guys, everyone who supports us. You guys are the best. We want to come out with more, better stuff for you guys. So the shirts are really, really cool. We've been working really hard on them. We've been spending pretty much all summer working on them. So they're going to be really dope. There'll be something that you'll be like, wow, I want to wear this with my normal Bears stuff. And you'll be supporting a charity. And it might be in collaboration with some players. So that's really fun. And then if you want to follow me on Twitter, my name is Danny Lance on Twitter. You can find me. And then you can keep up with some stuff there. And if you're tuning into this and you're not following the Bar Room, then you guys are messing up. You guys got to follow them too and follow these guys on here. They're all really good guys. Super funny content coming out all the time. So just check it all out.
Danny, man, we appreciate you jumping on with us all the time, man. We can't thank you enough, dude.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, man, the stickers say enough, man, for sure. And please, like Danny said, guys, if you guys can go out, check out Audacia Sports, man. They partner with with foundations. We gave them a badge of honor last year, just for that reason. And I mean, they're putting out phenomenal stickers. Like, I have them literally everywhere.
Yeah.
On my freaking table that my stuff sits on. AC showed his water bottle. I got them on my water bottle. I mean, I'm handing them out to people. Like,
I put them. I don't have a water bottle. I just have liquor bottles. My bad.
Thank you so much, Danny. We'll definitely do this again, man, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday, man.
Hey,
bear
thank
down,
you
brother.
guys. Yeah, anytime. Yeah, bear down. Let's go. Let's
Bear
do this
down.
thing.
Bear
Yeah,
down.
thank you guys.
Yo,
Danny's
so
the man.
yeah, Danny's awesome, man. He's awesome to have on,
Yeah.
and you know, a little bit of audio issue at the beginning, but you know, we stuck with him just because of the, you know, what the dude does for everything, and just he's fun to talk to and to have on. Let's move into something else real quick, because I think all of our fucking hearts dropped. Everybody's
here's
everybody's
right here, guys.
Everybody's butthole puckered.
I'm gonna try to do this the right way. Here we go.
Quarterback and looking to throw, and he is sacked. Helmet comes off. Ball is loose. Johnson recovers, but there is a flag out.
That's going to be a penalty. His helmet-to-helmet contact. His helmet popped off.
Andre Smith.
Andre Smith
Personal foul.
pounded
The
him.
passer. Defense number 59. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first.
Yo, so
ouch.
Yeah, that shit. I mean, he got rocked, man. And damn, there goes my hero, Robbie. Go ahead.
I know it wasn't funny, but when they played it in slow motion, his headband flew off.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, he's dead.
Yeah, a couple of the guys couldn't get the game because of fucking blackouts and outages and shit yesterday.
Oh.
Dude, I sent this video to them yesterday because I rewound it and I like wiped the tears off my face, right? And rewound it at the next commercial and recorded it for him and sent it. And dude, this thing, I mean, like his one face getting up off the ground, and I was like, oh, please be okay, right? And then he puts the headband, puts the helmet back on, and starts walking back to or moving because of the penalty, right? And then he's going like this on the side of his helmet. And I was like, oh, fuck. Like, what happened? Turns out he was fully strapped. Chin strap was fully strapped. When his helmet came off, the chin strap cut him right above his, I want to say above his right eye. Cut him. And they had to, during the next TV timeout, they bandaged him up because he was bleeding. You know, threw a little fucking Neosporin or whatever on there and let him stay in the game and go. But, dude, that was – it's definitely like – just all like everything started like, what if something was to happen like this? Where is this team at then? Like, I don't even know if I'm coming on a Sunday morning. Like, honestly, dude, what is there to look forward to? Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I mean,
look forward to.
Yeah, and Clovers, I was going to bring that up too. After that, while they're marching off the penalty, the Bills defense is like high-fiving Smith and like hugging him and smacking him on the helmet and this and that. And like, I was like, how do you, granted, I guess, if Mac would have did that to Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I play defense. If you smack somebody, your boys are going to be like, hey, way to knock at dudes. I mean, that's just the way they're built. And I can't fault the guy. I mean, he came in there, he didn't get touched, he didn't get blocked. I mean, granted, he could have not hit him in the head, but I mean.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen a little dip from Fields before the hit.
Right.
But not enough to maneuver that like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
To put the crown right there like that. I mean, he got fucking lit up, man. And
but I mean, a couple of years ago when Danny Trevathan lit up, who was the Packers receiver? I mean, I think he knocked his ass out. Our whole defense, they was like, hell yeah, good hit. You know what I'm saying? That's just...
No, I agree. I see it. I mean, I think it would have been worse if the stretcher was coming out, if the medical team were coming out and they were high-fiving, then it's a different scenario, I believe. But to celebrate it, granted, it pisses us off. It pissed me off, but
yeah,
I get it, man. Like, you just demolished this kid for the first time. That's the hardest hit this dude's taken.
Am I the only
easily
one that wanted to fucking lay out the right tackle?
Well, it was so in the Fields. So wait, we have the. I mean, before the last one, and I know you know what the last one is, Badge, but we have a. I pulled the video. I think the first one with Fields talking. They ask him about the hit, and he talks about it. So
here we go right here.
Conversation about how much you made about the game. Let me talk about because that came out put it wrong. I was like, well, not y'all, but apparently the narrative was that.
Badge, for some reason that's
Bobby
not
filmed
working.
that on a potato, in case anyone was wondering.
I mean, in the pregame before we started the show, it sounded and looked fine. Now I don't know. It's just it doesn't look the same. But anyway, he says that he adjusted the protection. And you know that he learned from it. Whatever, he'll
I'm gonna make sure that motherfucker's blocked next time.
On the play, man. What I remember what he was saying was he slid the protection. He was looking left side because he wanted to get Riley really on a deep shot. So he had changed Riley Ridley's route and everything, and he pretty much just forgot about the dude. He said if I would have saw it, I would have threw hot. And he didn't do it. He said it was a learning experience.
Mule brought up another point that I kind of wanted to see, which I didn't. I kind of seen it at the beginning, but then it turned into flight. You know, the fight or flight of the offensive line. If your quarterback gets hit like that, I don't give a fuck if it's legal or not. You better turn around and throw that fucking dude backwards. And you know what I mean? And like have a little I don't know, loyalty to him or something, because they turned around and like we're kind of walking towards him, and then they turned around and like pick Fields up, you know, and whatever. Like I'd want to see, you know, an incognito or a Kyle Long style, like fuck you, like get off my dude kind of deal. I don't, even if it was my fault. I mean, if I was the guy that was supposed to pick him up and the protection wasn't slid, if my quarterback gets rocked like that, dude, I'm gonna go up and throw this dude backwards at least. And like Skinner, like Kreutz and Van Horn would have been throwing punches. Absolutely, they would have. And I just didn't like that there was.
You got to think about this too, though, guys. These are guys Justin Fields is on the field with that are trying to earn a spot on this roster.
Yeah.
So if they're throwing punches, well, never mind. I think it's okay for players to throw punches on the Bears roster. They seem to stick around.
I think
so. If you know what? Never mind. Forget
I think it's okay to. I'm not saying throw punches. Yeah, Kreutz probably would. Like Olin probably would have been. I'm saying at least back the fucking dude up and kind of
totally.
Go in there and get a body the dude or something, right? And
just get in his face and like do something to show, okay, yo, this shit ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, and I believe that goes in favor of the penalty call too. When there is reaction like that and everybody sees that it was just, you know, that it was wrong, like whatever. The penalty was called anyway. Either way, we all know Fields.
Bye,
peace out. Get him.
Yo, be safe, bro.
Engine 36, truck 82. KB's on his way to a call. If you guys don't know, KB is a fireman and he joins us from the firehouse on Sunday mornings. So he's got to go do his job, man. He's got to go work for the people and get it done. So, you know,
hey,
hopefully everything is
make.
good and hopefully, you know, you get out there and it's just a routine call, man, and nothing too serious, brother. Go ahead.
So I want to let our Barfly Tailgate Barroom Network fans know, because I want to give them time. These 4 sexy gentlemen that do this show, you're going to have the opportunity to roll with them in Cleveland as the Bears take on the Cleveland Browns on Sunday, September 26th, as well as some others from the Barroom Network. We're going to be in Cleveland.
I caught a plane out to Cleveland late last evening.
We're going to be out. We're going to be drinking. We're going to be having a blast. So if you're going to Cleveland, hit us up on whatever social media you have. We're probably definitely going to try to find a tailgate on Sunday. We'll check in on Sunday morning. We probably won't do a full-on show, but we'll definitely probably check in and from the tailgates. And, you know, definitely you're going to want to keep an eye on your Twitter feed for sure. But yeah, I wanted to get that out there. We're excited. Finally, the four of us are going to meet in person for the first time. I've met Bobby in person. I haven't met AC and KB. Bobby's met KB. I don't know. Have you met AC, dude?
No.
All right.
I don't get out too often.
AC's the loan we got. So now,
actually, when I told my wife about the tickets, she was like, "How many you getting?" I was like, just me, as far as I know. She was like, "The fuck?"
Dude, Carrie said the same thing. She's like, "Oh, am I going too?" And I was like, "Nah." And she was like, "Oh." She's like,
my wife's like, "Bye, see you later."
Get the fuck out of my house.
But yeah, for sure, we'll be down in Cleveland. Dan and Aldo will be down there too. So we're gonna have a little bar room extravaganza. So if you're gonna be down there or you're in the area or whatever, man, if you're gonna be at the game, let us know for sure, because it'd be definitely cool to fucking meet up.
$5 per autograph. So if y'all bring your pictures and stuff, you know,
it's $5 to touch his beard. Wait, let me get back. Let's go in reverse real quick. I want to get back to Justin Fields, because hopefully this video plays well. The one I sent you this morning, it's from 79th and Hallis, I believe it was the Twitter handle. Let's see. I want you guys to see this, because this, I was like, fuck yeah.
Hey y'all. My man's is still alive. I'm alive. My man's is still here. Bird on, man. Big bird. Hey, man. Welcome to the lead, man. He took it, though, like a champ. Oh, God. You see it? Yes, sir. Hey, y'all.
Dude, I think that's to do that after a game, or to allow that to be done and to be sent out, right? Because I'm sure people do it after a game, like, dude, you got fucking rocked, you know, like whatever, right? That happens, but to actually put it out there, like, yeah, who gives a shit? Like, whatever, that's where I play.
It's football.
Yeah, like I thought that was awesome, man. And to him to be like, this is the big bird, you know, like I was like, gee, like that's awesome, man. And just to in the presser, you know, yeah, he did, Robbie. He took it like a damn champ, man. And in the presser, he's like, yeah, like yeah, I got lit up, you know. And they're like, the first thing they say was, "It was your helmet strapped on?" Well, motherfucker, did you see it rolling through the end zone like 45 yards away? Like, but I think it just shows the heart of this kid, right? And how it goes. And like, we all know Mitch's answer would have been like, "Oh, I watched it and I'm gonna learn from it." You know, coach told me, and I watched it. I'm gonna learn from it. But for him to
in my book, and
yeah, Clover's how Jordan would react against Detroit and the bad boys, you know, and
great analogy, Clover's.
Yeah,
so true.
Yeah, and I get it was just the Bills, right? And it's not a actual rival, but dude, I think it's awesome, and just the way that he, you know, took it like a champ. And just
we saw him do that last year at Ohio State when he got. I mean, he didn't get drilled in the head against Clemson, but I think it came out after the game that he had like broken ribs or something, and he stood in there and Aldo, the Godfather, baby.
Heck yeah, man. Gonna be a good time.
Yo, it's gonna be a fucking sausage party orgy in Cleveland, I'll tell you that.
I know we need some female talent at the bar room.
Don Burns.
We have Alyssa. We have Peggy Kaczynski. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's good. I mean you don't have to be a fucking creep about it. Now they're not gonna
That's not what I mean. We need a female talent.
Yeah, but all in all, man, I mean, definitely if you guys are going out there, like hit us up, let us know. And you know, we'll see how this thing. It's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be a fun game. And if you don't know, Mr. Ryan Kirkland Billings, who you guys know just had to go, you know, fight a fire or do something. The call came in. His cousin actually plays for the Browns.
Yeah, Andrew Billings.
Yeah, had a sack last week, I want to say, or at least 0.5
got
of
some
it.
pressure in the face of Trevor Lawrence last week. Helped. He may have gotten credited with a half a sack. I can't remember what KP said.
Yeah, Don said he heard his name. You did, Don. Don, you know, he's always in here. He's a Detroit fan. He's always talking about Detroit and Detroit against anybody. But whatever, dude. You know, like, it's all good. Thanks for joining us. Obviously, you know, maybe we're not as big of homers as we thought when we got Detroit fans that join us every weekend.
Well, I mean, once I'm done with this show, I'm going to go on YouTube and look for some Lions shows and some Packers shows so I can get in their comment section, you know, and just tell them bear down, because that makes sense. We're off the rails, man.
Yeah, we are. We're all over the place. All right, so let's go. Let's you know, what else? What other guys did you see, or what guys are you wanting to see in week 3 that you feel are on the cusp of, you know, either making it or you know, guys, I mean, however week 3 works out. I mean, Dalton and Fields is obviously the talk of the town. It's going to be the talk of everybody. I think some of our backup running backs have shown a lot of fucking promise, man. Some of the camp champs and preseason
Khalil
champs.
Herbert had that good touchdown run yesterday. He's showing promise, and I think Damian Williams is a very underrated signing if we're talking running backs. We talked about it earlier. Jesse James looks like he's fighting for a spot, a high spot.
Yeah. I think Jesse James makes it though, man.
I think James is
for sure.
Yeah, I think it'll be Graham Commett James, and there might not be anybody else on the 53 man.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking not like I'm looking. There's a guy that, to me, yesterday, a free agent signing. So he's probably not going anywhere. But and this is just watching it, listening, and then watching back, because I was one of the ones who couldn't watch live because it was blacked out in my area. So I listened to Jeff Joniak and Tom Thayer yesterday, which that's how I used to catch Bears games, was listening to those guys. Well, when I went back last night and watched, Jeremiah Attaochu, was a guy who didn't look all that well to me yesterday. And I didn't really focus on him last week. You know, and this is a guy they brought in to hopefully contribute. I mean, what I saw yesterday, for some reason, and it could be because I was watching it, you know, later than normal, and maybe, but he just stood out to me like not, you know, missed tackles, not making plays. I'm trying, who else? Is it Xavier Crawford, 47?
Yeah.
He's around the ball, which is great, but he's not really making plays on it.
He had one big hit. It was right after a play that he screwed up in the early quarters. I want to say, like, it was in the first half for sure, but he missed a big one, right? And then came up and had a nice solid hit, right? I think Kendall Vildor missed that one little swing pass where he got juked out of it, right? And he left his feet for the tackle. Came in and shot at the legs, right? I mean, granted, a young player's problem. I mean, Fuller used to do it all the time, but Fuller was on the ball quick. You know what I mean? He was there seconds after the ball made it. Vildor kind of went in there, right? And the running back already had his head turned around and was ready to get upfield, was already moving upfield, and he shot the legs and he got juked bad. But I mean, I still think Vildor's got that position held down
I do too.
for sure. And then you've seen, like, you know, some of the other backups. That front seven is a beast, man. Like, all the way around, that front seven is just disgusting. There's not really a guy on there that I'm like,
I think you're going to see guys that have been on this roster for a couple seasons now that haven't taken that step forward. And I'll just give you two examples: Joel Iyiegbuniwe and Josh Woods.
Yeah. Iggy
Those are
looks
two
like
guys
shit.
I think both of them look like shit. I get their special teams guys. I think they're both great guys, you know, good people. But I just think Alec Ogletree, Christian Jones, he's my guy.
Dude, Marquis
Mike
Christian.
Colitro.
Marquis
Yeah, he's
Christian
played well.
he balled
Yeah.
out yesterday. I think he led the team in tackles yesterday. He had like 7 solo stops, man. He had that one batted down. It was like a rocket too. As soon as it hit his hands, it like shot backwards. But Marquis Christian played well yesterday. And he has been. He's not, not like a big name. I don't think, not a name that you hear a lot, but I think he played great yesterday. Christian Jones, I was kind of like, whatever, right? Iggy, yeah, there was way too many missed tackles yesterday, dude. All the way around from the starters. Robert Quinn looked like the whole drop foot thing. I get it. He turned the back inside in that first drive of the game, right? And made him cut back upfield. But then Eddie kind of made a business decision.
I think on that play, though, I think Eddie thought Quinn and who was it? Was it Ogletree or Jones? There was I thought it was a linebacker. I think he thought they had him. So I think he kind of changed his pursuit. And then once he broke free, Eddie was like, oh, shit. I don't know. It was just
Well, it's as far as I was concerned, looking at what I could see of the game yesterday, the Bills' offensive line looked really stout. The way they were able to block up and hit their assignments and stuff. So if we're looking for depth on our offensive line with cuts coming up, that might be somewhere we can look, for depth pieces to come in and compete on this offensive line. We're down injured, so I'm thinking the Bills, and then we had those joint practices with the Dolphins, so maybe they saw some guys that are deep in their roster that might get cut that we might be able to pick up. So that's something that we'll be looking for. I think, is it this week that we've got to get down to 53 men, or is that after the next game?
After the next game, I think. I think this week we're down to – oh, no. I think it's after next week. Because it was 3, then 5, right? And then fucking like 20 or some shit. I forget the exact numbers, but yeah, it's after next game is when all that will take place. Only in the sense of, because this used to be, and I don't know if it's going to be anymore, but this used to be the backup game. This was the backup bowl. This would be week 4 of the preseason. It's the backup bowl. It's who's going to come out and play and make the team. And this is games where we've seen a lot of these backups where, hometown heroes and fans and that, like, they have their favorite kid, right? And then you see him come out and kill it, and then damn gets cut. You know what else I was going to, speaking of hometown, favorites and that, Tanner Gentry yesterday, huh? Gentry had a catch, connected with Mitch, and it was good to hear the name. I honestly didn't even know he was on the Bills. I was surprised to hear it, but good for him, for landing somewhere and going roster to 53 on Tuesday, the 31st, Aldo says. So, that's a bonus.
Did Tanner Gentry play with Josh Allen at Wyoming? Maybe that's how he got his foot in the door out there.
Yeah, he did. He definitely did.
The Quinn thing, guys, is a little bit concerning to me. I just see a lot of Quinn comments popping up in here.
Well, there's some people saying to bench Quinn. Who are you replacing him with? Travis Gibson looks pretty good, but let's be honest, he's playing against second and third string offensive linemen. We don't know what he'll look like against a starting left tackle or right tackle. So,
you could say that, right? And I get it, because we all do that. But playing devil's advocate, man, Justin Fields is playing against second stringers.
Yeah.
So, granted, we're all beating the table for him, but you see it. You see the difference in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So don't take what I'm saying out of context. Right. But I don't think it matters, man. I just think it's field time, and it shows the thing. Gibson was good last year. I think, did Gibson have 5 sacks last year?
Gibson was pretty good last year, and I think he bulked up this offseason, which is why a lot of people are like, hell yeah, let's get more Gibson. And I think it should be a more of a rotation between the two.
Yeah.
But
I think the issue with Quinn is, and I get people want to cut him and whatever, we paid that dude way too much money. We're going to pay so much in, you know, in cap hits and that he's probably cheaper to keep her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think Quinn and Leno kind of fall into the same thing, even though Leno kind of got beat up in the Washington game. But it was a sense of guys who we're still paying Leno for 2 more years. Now and did we do this too at the beginning? Sure. Where now that our offensive line's depleted, we're like, oh, what the hell? You could have kept Leno. You could have, gave A-Rob a contract. You could have extended Hicks. You could have done this, and that, right, to keep him. But I think it's just because he had so many starts and was reliable. I'm not saying that he was a great at all by any means. I think he was average, but I think when you give up average to go with a possibility, you're already kind of missing the mark as to your team progressing and moving forward. But either way, I think Quinn, you can't cut Quinn, dude. It's way too much fucking money.
Too much money, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like what Robbie said with Johnson. Caleb Johnson. He was a guy who, obviously had a fumble recovery. Actually, didn't he have both yesterday? Or did somebody else have? I swear it was him that had both. But
had what?
Both fumble recoveries. Caleb Johnson.
I'll tell you in a second. Let me pull this up.
I know he definitely had one. I thought he had both, but he was a guy that I thought, stood out to me yesterday. Snowden, obviously, I think the more work he gets, I think the hard part with some of these guys that are kind of like, I don't want to say making a name for themselves, but putting out good tape is you try to stash a guy like this on the practice squad.
They won't get through waivers.
Got a spot for him. Yeah,
Johnson did have both fumble recoveries.
He did. Okay, I thought so. So I mean, that's the hard part is, you've got a guy with some potential. Do you have room on that 53 to keep him? Probably not. So your only next option is practice squad. Well, now you can pluck guys from there. So it's going to, some of these guys that we want to keep around, I don't think you're going to see that as a possibility, anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I think also it's a favor for us too, because positions where we're depleted right now with injuries and that, we could see a lot of average or at least better than what we currently have. I won't say starters, but what we currently have in the backup positions hit practice squads and hit free agency again and get cut from teams, right? And there's always at this cut in the season, we always have the show about guys that we want to go after or who we think would be a fit here and there. I think in the previous years it's always been like a third string quarterback, but who knows? I mean, the market's going to flood again with people that have some talent. And we might see guys brought in here that just wasn't, a good fit for their team. So I think it's quite possible that we get a couple more linemen in here, depending on injuries and depending on the health of that. Unfortunately, I think that defensive front, we're going to have to probably lose somebody out of that pile, right? And then and then you go wide receivers and cornerbacks. I mean, we got, I think it was 16 or 14 DBs on the list.
Yeah, DBs are going to be there's going to be a lot of names cut from there.
Yeah. And wide receivers, I know we talked about it earlier, but there's easily 4 there that, that are gone. So, I mean, I think, after the cuts and that, after this next game, we'll see what we get, but there's definitely going to be some guys cut off of this squad and we'll see what we got.
Yeah. I got a quick question for Aldo while we got him in the chat. Because Aldo, in case you guys didn't know, he does a show with Mike North I believe it comes on Mondays about betting lines and stuff. Well, when we first drafted Justin Fields, Mike North had a big worry that he went to Ohio State, and let's be honest, Ohio State has not. Well, his argument was Ohio State hasn't put a bunch of supreme talented quarterbacks in the league. I know it's only preseason, but after a couple of preseason games, what is Mike North's evaluation of what he's seen from Justin Fields? Maybe if he can't if he can't answer in the comments, maybe we'll tune into Mike North Advantage whenever they go on, and he can talk about that. Just talking point.
Yeah, for sure. I like some of the comments here. You know, Barome. I think Barome's good, man. I think he's definitely a piece that's sticking around for sure, without question. There.
I think it's that weight loss. Remember, he was like 30 pounds heavier when he was drafted.
Yeah.
Borum, and now he's much lighter, so he's able to move a little bit better. I think, you know, and having to move over to that left side, I think is a big help.
Yeah. He missed quite a bit of time with that concussion too, though, so that doesn't help too much.
There's your answer, AC.
All right, I see it. North thinks Fields needs time.
Mike has a Mitch tattoo on his butt. Yeah, I mean, like we kind of said the whole time, it was dismal. The game was dismal. The game was upsetting to a lot of people. Yeah. We've seen time and time again, year after year, the wrong decisions. Well, what we feel are the wrong decisions be made. The wrong people be taking the helm. The wrong people calling the plays. You know, and I think Nagy needs to give up the sheet, man. Like 100%, that's my belief. Nagy should not be calling the plays. I don't care if it's fucking preseason, regular season, whatever. I don't even think he deserves a shot anymore. I don't know what I said, but thanks, Ravi. Oh, the North tattoo. Gotcha. But I think it just needs to, and what has me the most concerned, right? I think last week my biggest concern was the offensive line. Going into last week's game, my biggest concern was the offensive line. Coming out of this game, my biggest concern isn't the offensive line anymore. It's the defensive and the offensive coordinator. I think our defense got the break speed off of them yesterday. I think against all the ones playing against twos, they look like shit. And offense, when it's not somebody who can change a broken play into positive yardage, aka Fields, the offense is shit. Your play design shouldn't be everybody's covered in your quarterback runs. Because that's where we got positive yards yesterday, and that's where we started moving the ball downfield, and that's what changes the game. Because then the linebackers have to come up, whatever. You get what I'm saying. But biggest concerns after week 2 of the preseason, AC. What's your biggest concerns, man?
My biggest concern is still offensive line depth, and I just don't. I don't think Nagy's system works. I just don't see it. We've seen it here for 3 years now, and you've got wide receivers that can't get open. And at some point, you've got to stop blaming the players and stop blaming offensive coordinators. I love being full screen, by the way, etc. You got to stop passing the buck and see where it's starting at the top. The system's broken. The only big play we had was Rodney Adams. Shout out to Rodney Adams, man. He's putting on a show this preseason. Just Rodney Adams going up and getting it, and I believe I saw that he had a daughter the day before, and then came out here and then went out there and scored a 73-yard touchdown. So that's an awesome story, and I'd love to see that guy make our 53-man roster. He's definitely shown that he's better than Wims, Ridley, Miller, who's no longer here. But but my biggest concern is the coaching, the play calling, and I'm on the fence of I want to see Fields because he gives us the best chance to win, and at the same time, I don't want him to go out there and get killed. So it's a difficult decision, and I'm glad. I think Aldo hit it on the head right there.
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean,
yeah, I agree.
Go ahead.
My answer is Matt Nagy, 100%. I fully coincide with everything AC just said. And Matt, you're the head coach, so you answer for everything. At some point, son, sir, whatever. I actually think I may be older than Matt, but if not, we're pretty close. You have to recognize as the head coach of the most storied, well, no, I got to take away the most storied franchise because that's really not true. You have to understand that
It's a
one
horror
of the
story.
oldest franchises in the NFL has a problem, and it's your offense. And until you recognize that and recognize the fact that you're not an offensive coordinator, there is not going to be success for you as a head coach in the NFL, let alone an offensive coordinator. So I highly recommend that Matt Nagy seriously take a look at not being the play caller offensively and solely focusing on the team as a whole and not just the offense. Because Matt, after yesterday's performance, and I get it. It's a preseason game. I fully understand that. But preparation is the number one thing in this game. And no one on the roster or on the coaching staff yesterday was prepared.
Yeah,
No one.
and I get like, you know, the you hear and you see, you know, well, Nagy changed his offense into scoring 22 points a game or 23 points like his first season. That's because nobody could study him.
Yeah.
He's an easy study. That's the problem. He's an easy fucking study. He's not going to get back.
He didn't make adjustments when people figured out how to stop him. Like,
yeah,
we say it with quarterbacks all the time. Robert Griffin III won Rookie of the Year, and then once defensive coordinators figured him out, they figured him out. Lamar Jackson is an incredibly talented quarterback, but once defensive coordinators figure him out, and he's got to win a playoff game with his arm, he's shown that he doesn't have the ability to do that thus far. Now that could obviously change. You can always get better, but
yeah,
once defensive coordinators get your tape and they learn how to shut down your system, you have to be able to adjust it and get better. That's what the best coaches do. You look at Sean Payton, you look at Bill Belichick, even though technically he's a defensive guy, he has shown the ability to make adjustments to his system and make it work.
I want to say a statement to you guys, right?
Go ahead.
So Matt Nagy's press conference started yesterday with him praising the backup kicker and making a 54-yard field goal, Rodney Adams. And then the first question that he received was about the offense. And this is what he said. And then I want you to go back to 2018 and tell me how many times you heard this during a game. Well, we had no rhythm. This fucking offense has never had rhythm, ever. Maybe the Tampa Bay game in 18 when Mitch threw 6 touchdowns. There was some rhythm there. When, other than that, has there been rhythm? Oh, I know. This 5-6 game stretch when you weren't the fucking offensive play caller, Matt Nagy. Take a hint, dude. It don't work. Be a head coach.
Yeah.
Manage the men on your roster and stop with the bullshit.
Yeah, I agree, man. But like, so here's my other part of it, though, right? Nagy, obviously, we know it doesn't work. He's an easy study, like we said earlier. Once defensive coordinators figured him out, that was it. It was done, right? It's easy to stop Mitch. We couldn't do it yesterday, but they made it very easy to stop. Mitch is, like we said earlier, Mitch is great between 5 and 15 yards. Anything after that, which is Nagy's fucking majority of his playbook, because we've said it before, he doesn't run the digs, he doesn't run the slants, he doesn't run the short end, you know what I mean? What my concern is that with Laser, I mean, he only called 4 games last year. We might see the same thing.
Yeah, I think it was 5. Yeah.
I mean, how do we know that? I mean, granted, I think we all believe that Laser is better, right? And we just want change. We want something different. But the problem is, why is your head coach who plays offensive coordinator and your offensive coordinator not on the same shit? Why is the offense so different when it goes from one person to the other? That's the part that bothers me. Like, there's no continuity. There's no team effort of getting it in. And I think Nagy's outcoached. I don't think he's a good offensive coordinator. I think he's lost when it comes to play calling. We said it. There's no stacking. There's none of this. And I get it's only preseason. But we have enough at this point. You know, we have enough years of watching at this point of watching him call plays to do it. And yeah, Darren, there was a lot of penalties. We had the one, we were what, 3rd and 40 the one year. It was like 3rd down and 42 to go. You know what I mean? And I just feel, man, it's like there is no chemistry. There's nothing exciting about watching Matt Nagy and watching his plays. Justin Fields makes it exciting because the play breaks down and he does something with it. And they got lucky with the blown coverage in Miami with Jesse James, right, on the rollout, right, throwback left. They ran that play the very first play Fields was in. It was covered. Fields put the fucking dime in there. He just dropped that thing straight in the bucket. James laid out, caught it, right, and first down. Everything started off looking pretty well. But it just goes to show, man, that he's like, oh, this worked last week. Like, let's do it again. And there's no building on anything. It's just like this play, like we said, this play works in Madden. So I'm going to fucking run it until you stop it. Like,
that's
it's
his
upsetting.
Play sheet. We've heard people say it. It's a Madden. It's fucking a Madden play sheet. You know,
yeah.
It's just ridiculous the way. Like I pulled all these fucking videos of Nagy. I don't even want to fuck him. I don't even want to talk about him anymore.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
you know, I pulled. I'm sitting here. I'm like, I'm gonna pull some of these videos, you know, from Nagy's press, blah blah blah. Because notice how yesterday, right after the game, there was no live press conference.
Yeah,
and it must be because the game wasn't shown live, like depending on certain areas. So I mean, I sat here pulling all this stuff last night, and I don't even want to listen to the guy.
Well, like I told you guys, I usually if I can't catch a game, I'll go on YouTube and look for highlights or look for a press conference. I'll listen to Hogan Johns usually drops a podcast after each game. I'll go listen to that and get some of their insight, you know, and then so I'm prepared for this morning. But yesterday, literally after I watched the first half, I didn't give a fuck. Didn't care.
Yeah.
I wanted to go back and see what Justin Fields did because I'm a fan of Justin Fields and I want him to do well. But I didn't care. I didn't listen to any post-conference press conference. I didn't listen to Hogan Johns last night. I didn't
listen to Nagy. I watched the other ones, but dude, I start to, and I get more upset, and I have to.
Well, you hear the same bullshit over and over and over and over and over again. It's like if I love my wife to death, but if she cheated on me every weekend and I went and said, what is going on here? What am I doing wrong? And she told me the same bullshit over and over and over and over again. Eventually I'm going to say, fuck you, I'm out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's just cut the part where he says, fuck you, I'm out, and keep that.
Dude, I'm totally using that.
Yeah. And we'll cut out the middle. So it'll just be like I tell my wife, dude, fuck you, I'm out.
Oh yeah, text that to Mallory.
We'll cut that up real nice. All right, well, let's kick it around the room for shout outs for any last minute things. You know, some big news with the bar room this week coming. You know, we'll wrap up with that. You can throw it back up there again if you want, but if you and hopefully you have, but if you've been listening to Aldo and Dan bare their souls Tuesday nights, they had a talk last week about talking with Kramer's agent and this and that, and they landed him. So Eric Kramer will be on Dan and Aldo bare their souls on Tuesday night. Check it out. He wants to talk about the struggles he went through in life, according to Dan when they talked to the agent. He doesn't want to shy away from that stuff. And if you know Dan, hopefully you do. I don't see how you wouldn't, but Dan has like just
The
a like
voice.
photograph. He just has a memory though, dude. I'm talking about his
You
memory.
got it.
Right.
He does
yeah.
he has golden pipes, but this dude's memory is next level, dude.
Mhm.
He remembers things like I don't know how he does it, man, but he he's gonna have some great questions for Kramer, man, and how things went down. I think you'll really see into that style of football at that time and what was taking place in the NFL. So it's going to be a great episode. So make sure you catch that. And I'll kick it over to AC. AC, shout outs, any last minute things, anything you want to throw in?
Shout out to Danny from Audacity. If you guys are looking for stickers, you can get them there on Audacity Sports. You can also get them on our website. You see the Barfly tailgate here. We got our wonderful caricatures with the jacked Bobby Bombs there in the middle. We got those on our website.
It's always jacked up.
Yeah, deepdishtees.com/barroom. That's where I got my hat, my t-shirt. I mean, we got everything you could want on there. They got hoodies when the weather's starting to change and all that. So shout out to those guys. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to KB out there on his call, man. I mean, my wife's a nurse, and people tell me how she's a hero all the time, and I completely agree with that. But I mean, you're out there putting out fires and helping anyone who's in the service industry. Shout out to y'all, man, because I work in a damn factory and it pays the bills, but what y'all do is just, it's incredible. And not all heroes wear capes. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to that. I'm going to end my shout outs with that.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. I mean, to run into, trauma and adversity and whatever, and having to decide on the dime what's going on takes a special one, man. And KB, hopefully everything's good out there, brother. And we totally understand, dude. So I know you're gonna hit us up once it's over and be like, "Oh, sorry, fellas, had to there is no need for sorry, man. That shit,
right?
Yeah, it's next level." Badge, what you got, brother?
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, Rodney Adams and his wife welcoming the birth of Brexley Michelle Adams on Friday night. Slept on a couch at the hospital, and this is a guy that wants to make this team. And he just had a baby, and I'm sure most of us that are parents and have had a child, you spend that time with your wife and your newborn in the hospital. He had to bounce because he's got to go and play for the Chicago Bears, and catches a 73-yard touchdown. And let's be real here. He made the touchdown happen, because
absolutely.
If the defender had his head around, that thing's fucking poked away.
He caught it off the guy's helmet.
Yeah. So huge shout out to Rodney.
And Dalton taking credit for that that throw was bullshit. Sorry to cut off your shout outs. Go ahead.
Oh no, you're good, dude. I totally agree with you. He deserves no credit. You threw up a fucking whack, and he actually made a play. The chat, man, you guys have been bringing it, man. We're so excited to be back, having you guys, Mule, Clovers, Ravi, Gaines, Aldo. I know I miss Don, even you freaking crazy ass Lions fan coming in every week. I love that.
He's a closet Bears fan,
dude. Just fucking, it's so awesome. Torian, you too, appreciate it. Everybody coming in, interacting. You know, we're just here to have fun. This is the team we love. We love doing this every week. I get to come on with these guys every week and, talk about the team I love, even though sometimes I love to hate them because they anger me so much. KB, be safe out there, man. I can't echo any more than what AC and Bobby said related to frontline workers and, everything going on. So please, thank you. We look forward to having you guys back with us every week. Right now it's 10 a.m. for the preseason. Once the season starts, we'll probably be back at 9. And then our guys, Joe Mandel and Adam Sham, will hop on after us during the season to get your fantasy football lineup set during for the game, Sunday game. So, man, it's getting closer. I'm just ready. Next week's game, I don't even give a fuck. Whatever.
I mean, we're going to Tennessee. We're down to Tennessee next week against another stout defense. Tennessee's defense, they have a good. I mean, they're good, man. So another test. We'll see what this week unfolds with who's actually going to be on the field, who's playing. Maybe on all fields game. We don't know if Nagy sticks to his fucking his toy gun. His I'm not even gonna call him the red rifle. It's more like the red rocket. The fucking whatever. But yeah. But if he sticks to it, I mean, I think that's what we'll see. But thanks again. Like Badge said, we'll echo that for joining Skinner. Everybody was in there. Chambers, Rock, I seen you pop in earlier. And of course Clovers, Ravi, all the regulars. I'm sure we're definitely missing people. Gaines, Aldo. But either way, it makes it a lot of fucking fun, man. KB, we love you, dude. Stay safe out there. Danny, thanks for joining. And I'm excited for Cleveland, man. I'm excited to get to Cleveland. Yeah. Hopefully Justin's at the helm by that point, if this thing really does go the way that it sounds like it's going. But I just think that there's nothing promising right now. Justin Fields is promising, but outside of that, dude, there's really nothing that I'm confident in. There's too many holes. There's the coaching staff, the fucking line, the front seven's good, yeah, but we didn't see really anything yesterday they weren't bowling people over and going. We had our starters out there, fellas. And it was tough to see. So definitely a big question mark on the season and on how things are going to turn out. But like we say, man, fans, our heart is with the Bears. We believe that they're gonna make the playoffs, and they're gonna do it. And time again, playoffs. even if we said all of this shit, if we got down to a game prediction right now, all of us would probably pick the Bears. So it's how it goes.
I wouldn't. Week 1, I'm picking the fucking Rams by a lot. I'll tell you right now.
I already bet on them. I already placed a bet on the Bears to win week 1. I did. I swear to God. But either way, check out everything that the Barroom has to offer. There's a whole list of shows. Check it out. Get over to the page. See everything that's coming up, that's going. Danny's got a tape breakdown series coming. They're going to take a couple plays from each game as they go, and Danny's going to break them down for you and give you that scouting aspect of it and how it actually goes and how it's done. And don't forget that Dan and Aldo bare their souls. That's going to be a great episode. I'm sure the chat's going to be fire for that. And as always, appreciate all the support and everything. And I'm gonna go pray for a better season and leave you guys with a.
I'll pray to Dick and Father Hallis.
And leave you guys with a bear down.
Bear down.